How did Ibrahim Traoré, the leader of Burkina Faso, transform forests into what some call gold? What strategy allowed him to turn one of his country's natural treasures into both a source of economic strength and a tool for environmental preservation? In today's video, we will take a calm and in-depth look at the historical background, the recent initiatives, and the wider implications of this policy. Burkina Faso is a landlocked country in West Africa, often described as part of the Sahel Belt. Historically, its economy has been heavily dependent on agriculture and livestock, with cotton and gold being two of its most prominent exports. However, the nation also possesses vast natural forests, covering nearly 70% of its territory. Within these forests lies an overlooked treasure, sandalwood. Sandalwood is globally recognized for its fragrance and durability. From ancient times, sandalwood has been traded across Asia, the Middle East, and Africa, serving as a valued material for perfumes, rituals, and artisanal crafts. In India, for example, sandalwood has long held cultural and economic importance. Certain religious practices use it in ceremonies, while the perfume industry relies on sandal oil as a key ingredient. Because of its rarity and fragrance that can last for decades, sandalwood has been referred to as white gold. International markets have historically concentrated sandalwood production in a few countries such as India, Australia, and some Pacific regions. African forests, however, remained underexplored in this regard. For Burkina Faso, sandalwood represented an untapped opportunity, yet in the past, forest management was inconsistent. Older trees were often left standing despite their declining value. Forestry experts, known in academic terms as silviculturists, have long explained that older sandal trees lose their fragrance quality and block the growth of younger saplings. Without sustainable planning, the forest risked stagnation rather than renewal. This historical background sets the stage for understanding the decisions Ibrahim Traoré made. Instead of treating the forests as static reserves or depleting them without a plan, he introduced a strategy designed to balance exploitation with renewal. When Ibrahim Traoré assumed leadership, one of his first steps was to review Burkina Faso's natural resources with a long-term perspective. He recognized that sandalwood, abundant in the country's forests, could become a driver of both economic growth and ecological preservation. To achieve this, Traoré launched what has been described as a smart forestry plan. This initiative began with a national survey to identify aging sandal trees that had passed their productive cycle. Instead of leaving these trees to decay, forestry teams carefully removed them. In their place, newly cultivated sandal saplings were planted. Saplings that were not ordinary, but genetically selected and treated with special nutrients to accelerate their growth. Where once a sandal tree might have taken years to mature, new techniques allow significant development within just a few months. The plan, however, did not stop at forestry management. Burkina Faso moved beyond exporting raw wood. Agreements were signed with international partners to sell processed sandalwood products, from polished timber to essential oil extracts, particularly targeting markets in India, the Middle East, and Europe. This approach significantly increased the value of exports, as processed products can sell for 2 to 3 times the price of raw material. India, the world's largest consumer of sandalwood, became a primary focus. There, sandalwood is used not only in perfumery and cosmetics, but also in traditional rituals, especially cremation ceremonies among wealthier families, where sandalwood is preferred due to its aromatic smoke. Recognizing this demand, Burkina Faso secured contracts with Indian dealers to supply pre-processed, packaged sandalwood ready for use, reducing the need for additional treatment and raising its market price. At the same time, new processing plants have been established inside Burkina Faso. These facilities handle cutting, polishing, oil extraction, and packaging, ensuring that most of the added value stays within the country. Parallel to this economic push, Traoré's government emphasized environmental sustainability. For every tree removed, at least 5 new saplings are planted. Communities, schools, and local organizations actively participate, with large-scale tree planting campaigns organized each year on National Forestry Day. From a neutral perspective, Ibrahim Traoré's sandalwood strategy reflects a combination of economic pragmatism and environmental awareness. On the economic side, Burkina Faso is seeking to diversify its exports beyond traditional commodities. By tapping into a billion-dollar global market for sandalwood and positioning itself as a new supplier, the country hopes to secure stable foreign exchange revenues. On the environmental side, the emphasis on replanting and accelerated growth techniques aims to maintain ecological balance. Rather than overexploiting forests, the plan integrates sustainability, with forestry experts monitoring the cycle of cutting and replanting. Community involvement further strengthens this approach, turning forest management into a national project rather than a government-only initiative. Diplomatically, this strategy also positions Burkina Faso differently on the world stage. By engaging India, a major buyer, and signing agreements with companies in Dubai, Saudi Arabia, and Europe, the country is diversifying its trade relationships. This reduces reliance on traditional Western markets and offers a degree of economic independence. Experts have noted that if this plan continues successfully, Burkina Faso could join the top 5 global suppliers of sandalwood within the next decade. This would represent both an economic breakthrough and a symbolic shift, showing how natural resources can be managed strategically rather than exploited unsustainably. However, challenges remain. Global sandalwood demand is competitive, and market fluctuations could affect prices. Maintaining ecological sustainability requires constant monitoring. Furthermore, the success of local processing plants will depend on technology, training, and long-term investment. Ibrahim Traoré's Forestry initiative demonstrates how natural resources, when managed with foresight, can generate economic growth while preserving the environment. By turning aging trees into valuable products, ensuring replantation, and building new trade partnerships, Burkina Faso is presenting itself as both a responsible steward of its forests and an emerging player in a lucrative global market. Whether this model will sustain itself over decades remains to be seen. What is clear is that it offers an example of how leadership, planning, and community participation can align to create opportunities where others might only see limitations. Only time will tell how this strategy will influence the regional balance and shape Burkina Faso's future role in global trade.